Në dhjetor të vitit kaluar, Banka Qendrore e Kosovës bëri publik vendimin që u ka shfuqizuar licencën 2 institucione mikrofinanciare që operuan deri atëherë në Republikën e Kosovës, Monego dhe Jute Kredit. 2 arsyetimet që u përdonën për revokimin e licencave qenë se dolen jashtë planit të biznesit dhe në kredi aplikuan norma interesi jashtë standardit. Në një intervistë në Klan Kosovës, themeluesi i Monego, letonezi Ajgars Kesenfeld, tregon arsyet se pse dhe sa investojnë në Republikën e Kosovës, cilat janë arsyet që ai i di për revokimin e licencës dhe çfarë e ka ndërmend të bëj tash e tutje në Kosovë, a do të investoj edhe me tutje. Po ashtu, gjatë këtij edicioni të Zonës B, do të ndiqni intervistën e Martin Walters, përfaqësuesit të investitorëve që investuan në Monego. Në këtë pjesë do të ndiqni edhe pjesë të intervistës nga themeluesi i Monego, Ajgars Kesenfeld, dhe në Klan Kosovës, i cili do të tregojë arsyet që e shtyn të vinë në Kosovë për të investuar dhe si e sa para të vinë dhe të hynë në Kosovë për të investuar dhe si e sa para hynë në Monego, sa klienti ka regjistruar deri tani në Kosovë dhe si ka funksionuar ky institucion mikrofinanciar në Kosovë.
So maybe a couple of steps back before Monego. So I do this business over 10 years, fintech and technology business across the world. Currently, I have invested in around a little bit more than 20 countries in this business. So as part of our expansion strategy, we evaluated several markets to expand, and we identified Kosovo, also neighboring countries like Macedonia and Albania, and we found that Kosovo as a market is very interesting for us because there is a gap for the financial services that banks offer banking services, and there were no companies that offered innovative and modern technology solutions for accessing relatively small amounts of money for relatively small periods of time. And after our market analysis almost 3 years ago, we decided to enter Kosovo, applied for the license, and up to this point, up to the 6th of December, when our license was surprisingly revoked, it was a very good market to do business. Maybe in general, if you describe the products we are offering in Kosovo, so there's a range of financial products. Some of them are served by the banks traditionally, like mortgage loans if you want to buy a house or apartment, loans if you want to buy a car, and there are products that banks previously, historically, not only in Kosovo but in other markets, don't want to offer. Yes, don't want to offer and focus on. These are like smaller loans or for shorter durations, because for banks it takes a lot of time to process those loans. It's quite a lot of bureaucracy, and therefore there is a niche for the companies like Monego to successfully operate these type of products, whereas we concentrate only on convenience of customer, on speed of service, and on quality. And if you look about facts, about numbers, then in less than 2 years we've been able to get total of 80,000 customers in Kosovo. So I think that is a remarkable number, and it shows that people want and need these services. And we also made surveys that show that people are actually, our customers were referring to their friends and family to become, because it's a good and convenient service. Total investment on this project is around 12 million euros at this point. So that's a very sizable investment, I think, in Kosovo as a country. And moreover to the money, as I said, we have invested also a lot of time and resources in technology, building the infrastructure, building the software part of the things, building risk models, data models, and etc. So we were planning to run this business in long term.
Tani ndjekim deklaratën e Martin Walters, i cili i shpjegon se kush janë investitorët në Monego dhe sa para investuan këtu në Kosovë.
So my name is Martin Schwalters. I am one of the co-founders at MINTOS, and as well as being a CFO and CEO here, and helping running the operations. So what is MINTOS? So at MINTOS, basically we have built a marketplace for loans, and through this marketplace we are opening a new asset class, which is loans, available for investments to private investors at a big scale and on global basis. We have been doing this for the last 5 years, and during this period we are the leading marketplace of such kind in Europe, as can be seen by publicly available information about our volumes. What does it practically mean, kind of the marketplace, what we have built? So as any marketplace has two sides, so there are buyers and there are sellers. In our case, the buyers are what we call investors. So these are mostly private individuals who have some extra cash resources which they are looking to invest and get a return. The sellers are what we call loan originators. So these are basically lending companies whose main business is to issue loans, be it for private individuals, for businesses, basically whatever type of loans. And through our marketplace, those investors are coming on our marketplace and they are buying or investing in the loans that have been originated by those loan originators. And in such way, at the end of the day, the investors are earning interest. Where does our investors come from? So at the moment, our investors are mostly coming from European Union countries. As of today, we have more than 200,000 users, investors that are using our marketplace. And when looking at the countries, so basically it's the larger countries of the European Union are where they're coming from. So let's say like Germany, Poland, Spain, Austria, Netherlands is where bulk of our investors are coming from. When we look on the other side of our marketplace, so meaning where those loan originators who are providing those investment opportunities are coming from, it is much more global basis. Again, it's as we are based out of Europe, so initially our clients were from Europe, both from European Union and outside of European Union. However, nowadays it's already coming from Latin America, they're coming from certain countries in Africa, certain countries in Southeast Asia. So it's more than 30 countries where those loan originators are coming from. And basically at the end of the day, like what MINTOS is about, we are providing opportunity for investors to invest in those loans, and in such ways through both kind of applying finance and technology, we are bringing the money where it is more available to borrowers, to places where it's much more scarce.
How you decided to invest in Kosovo, for example, in Monegos?
Yeah.
Which is the role of MINTOS?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, we are working, on one side we are working with the loan originators. So at the moment they're coming from 30 plus countries. We have more than 70 loan originators, and Monegos is one of those loan originators with whom we were working. Whenever we start working with any of the loan originators, we have a strict due diligence process where we are reviewing several things. First and foremost, we are looking if the loans that the company is issuing, how well are they performing, what's their default, how much well is the repayment pattern, because we need to protect our investors' interests so that they get a good return on their investments. So that's like one part of the due diligence process. Apart from that, we are looking on a bunch of other things. So it is starting with reviewing the management, reviewing the processes, very much on the loan issuance process, financial standing of the company, as well as we are looking what is the regulatory environment in the country, and let's say, should there be a license for a particular business, and if there's like anything else that needs to be taken into account. So Monegos, just as any of us other of our loan originators, went through this process, and basically roughly a year ago in it was like January 2019, they had passed the process and they joined our platform, and at that moment also loans originated by Monegos in Kosovo became available to our investor base.
So which is the sum of investment in Monegos from MINTOS during 1 year? From how many money you are talking about, for example, that is now in Kosovo, because we know one decision are made in Kosovo. National Bank now is activities are suspended, which is the impact of this money there, your investors, and everything else.
So currently is the amount what investors have invested and which is outstanding is 9 million euros.
Walters tha që ka investitor nga gjithë bota, por në media u përmend u akuzua se themeluesi i Monego, Aigars Kessenfeld, ka lidhje me Rus, pra investitor nga Rusia. Cila është e vërteta e këtyre pretendimeve e jep vetë përgjigjen i apostrofuari Aigars Kessenfeld.
Hi, it's very interesting, this campaign about black campaign against me. My alleged links to Russia was started in Kosovo like more than a year ago, actually in some sponsored campaigns, paid advertising, news. First of all, it's very interesting that I think news should be free, not sponsored, in order to sponsored news looks very suspicious. So therefore, we have therefore against those fake news we have taken a legal action and actually made a court appeal some year ago, and we won a court case in Kosovo that says that these news are fake. Moreover, currently I have no whatsoever links to any businessmen in Russia. I don't have any business partners in any of my businesses that are Russians. I've been vetted in 20 plus countries around the world in central banks where they do a very deep due diligence, the same as actually Kosovo did when we got licensed. So there were no questions, and there are no questions in any other markets regarding me or my connections. Moreover, recently we launched my other business, which is Mogo, which is giving car leasing business. We launched public bonds in Frankfurt in German Stock Exchange of 100 million euros. That did very detailed analysis of my personal finances, of company finances. It's a very stringent process. Finally, if any agency, central bank, ministry, whatever, whoever has any questions or suspicious, I don't have anything to hide. I'm happy and willing to provide any information about my personal finances or my company finances. They can prove my statements that I have no whatsoever links to Russian businessmen or politics or whatever you name it.
Përfaqësuesi I investitorëve Martin Walters, e themeluesi I Monego, thonë se u njoftuan për shfuqizimin e licencës nga BÇK vetëm pas vendimit. Pra, pa paralajmërim se një gjë e tillë mund të ndodhë. Cilat janë arsyet që këta e dinë për revokimin dhe cilat janë pasojat e revokimit të licencës, tregojnë vetë këta të dy në intervistën për Klan Kosovën.
Yeah, so as basically on 6th of December when we received information that National Bank of Kosovo had revoked licenses of two of the loan originators, it came as, let's say, a big surprise to us. We definitely didn't anticipate that. So the immediate effect of that was that, first of all, we immediately stopped any new investment possibilities in loans issued on Monego, which were still on our marketplace. However, the biggest impact was that since this date, we have not been receiving, investors have not been receiving the payments for their investments. Because how it works, that like once the investors have made the investments, and when the borrower has a scheduled payment when they need to repay the loan, part of that money should be transferred back to investors because they have invested in that loan. However, since beginning of December, since the revocation of a license, even though the borrowers are making the payments, as we know, we have not been receiving any payments and we cannot pass it on to investors.
And which is the reason that fell for this action? How do you see the reason from National Bank?
So basically in Pristina we met with a liquidator of Monego. We did not meet National Bank. We understand that the liquidator had been appointed by the National Bank. Regarding the reason for the revocation of license, it's only what we know based on the official information, which was still kind of quite vague.
I know that, but how do you see the official response from National Bank for this decision? In your opinion, how do you see that?
Well,
is there a reason for this action or not?
Well, one of the reasons what was mentioned, or like the main reason what we understand was mentioned, is about high interest. So whenever we are reviewing any of the loan originators, be it in Kosovo or any other of the countries, we are checking if there are any so-called rate caps in the countries. We understand that in Kosovo there were no rate caps, so the company didn't breach any of the local regulations. So
you don't interfere in the local company for tariffs, for example, or for gaps?
No. So what we are looking is if the company is operating according to externally imposed regulation.
Yes, first of all, it was a big shock to me, to all the employees of Monego, 250 employees of Monego in Kosovo. Me personally, I was informed only after the event. Prior to the decision, there was no advance warnings, no kind of notification, no fine, no kind of other problems. So it was in my life first time that the license was revoked in that way, and I knew about it only after the event. So that part was very shocking, and I think that it's until that moment I believe that the rule of law in Kosovo is applied. Nevertheless, I hope that we can still make some dialogue and compromise with the central bank and come to some mutually agreeable solutions so we can continue our business in Kosovo. But the pure fact was a big surprise. Look, I don't want to speculate about like some conspiratory theories or other reasons why a decision was made and why it was made in such manner. What is more important for employees of Monego, for all our partners in Kosovo, that we are renting branches, that we are buying services from, and also for us, for our investment, that we try to find a solution that we can continue operating in Kosovo. So regarding two reasons why this decision was made, I don't want to speculate at this moment. Because I don't know, to be honest.
Po tani, që ju hoq licenca, çfarë ka ndërmend të veprojnë Kesenfeld e Walters?
Yes, I mean, when we entered Kosovo market, our intention was to work there long term and to build a sustainable, successful business, and also invest a lot of technology in a lot of products. Also, our plan for this year was to also to start offer new products, new services for our customers. And if and hopefully some compromises reached with the regulator, we would happily continue working in Kosovo in a way that satisfies both parties. Because in this type of business, you have to build long-term intentions. And to build long-term infrastructure, to hire right people, which in Kosovo we have a lot of good and talented people, and that also we've been lucky enough to hire to manage this business. So yes, if it's possible from legal point of view and from, I don't know, political point of view, from the central bank's perspective, we'll be very happy to continue working in Kosovo, paying taxes in Kosovo, paying and employing several hundred of employees. Launch, what we hope we'll still manage to launch if we be able to renew our operations in Kosovo, would be to offer more longer period of loans for our existing customers, because we have to get to know the customers in order to offer them larger loans for longer period of time, also on lower prices. And other thing is that we want to enter also the business of offering loans for purchases. I mean, for example, you need to buy a new washing machine or you want to buy a refrigerator. That was our strategic plan, to start offering loans for purchases in Kosovo.
Short times too, right?
No, up to like, let's say 1-2 years, like longer term products.
Yes, it's more.
Yes,
okay.
So these two were our strategic goals for the product development, for which obviously we would invest more money in people, more in technology, and we had also plans to open new branches. So up to the point we have a little bit more than 30 branches. We are planning to expand this also further.
What are your next steps for this?
Yeah. So basically our first and foremost interest is to protect the interests of our investors. So those tens of thousands of investors from European Union who have made investments in those loans. Given that this is not a business as usual case, we have sought for external legal advice on this matter. Also at end of December we went to Pristina and met with a liquidator of Monegos to discuss what are the next steps. Putting all this together and like what's our current understanding is that currently up till the beginning of February there is a so-called process when the creditors can register their claims. So basically all the creditors of Monegos need to register what claims they have. Based on our information, what we have, knowing how much investments have our investors made, what was the financial situation of Monegos, we know that like our investors are significant majority of the claims. Plus, they also have a first pledge over the assets of the company, and they are the first ones in the row. So basically the first step now is till this beginning of February register the claims. Then the next step is that liquidator needs to review those claims registered and approve them. Unfortunately, according to the legislation in Kosovo, there are no specific date during which the claim should be approved. So there is some uncertainty how long this period could be. So what is kind of our next steps going forward is that first of all we are committed to follow all the legal requirements of Kosovo. However, we are also looking very closely monitoring the situation, given that there are some things that has not been specified in the law. We still believe that we should be able to recover all the investments that investors have made, that is those kind of 9 million euros outstanding. And why we believe so? Because at the moment when the license was revoked, based on the information we were monitoring on the investments made, the loan portfolio was well performing, the company was profitable. So basically the loans were sufficient to make the repayments. So as long as a liquidation process would be done properly, we have a reasonable belief that all the repayments will be done to investors.
So you mentioned, Mr. To recover the money. So you are interested just to recover money, or if possible to continue working in Kosovo after some other decision from authorities, for example?
No.
Did you see any interest not to work and to invest in Kosovo?
No. So obviously for us as a MINTOS, the main question what we need to deal with now is on recovering the investments. Given the things that have been kind of happening in Kosovo, with the revocation of those two licenses, it definitely kind of puts some additional things what we as MINTOS need to evaluate if we would be able to work further on in Kosovo. Regarding the kind of continuing the operations of the company, it is up to the company to decide and its shareholders. So we are just like representing the interests of our investors.
Dhe në fund, edhe disa pyetje që duhet të dinë edhe shikuesit, edhe klientët, edhe institucionet. Dhe pyetjet kanë të bëjnë me mënyrën dhe për arsyet e shfuqizimit licencës. Por, këto pyetje duhet i drejtohen edhe institucioneve. Nëse të kreditë dhëna nga këto institucione financiare po karakterizohen si fajde, pse BÇK po vazhdon t'ju kërkoj huamarzve t'i kthejnë ato kredi me të njëjtat kushte. Klientët madje janë të frustruar sepse po detyrohen t'i paguajnë ato kredi përmes institucioneve tjera si Posta e Kosovës apo Western Union, gjë që po kushton atyre edhe me tepër. Kjo është një prej pyetjeve. Dhe pyetja tjetër, gjithashtu ka të bëj me institucionet. Monegos solli të mira që tërhoqen mbi 85.000 njerëz. Thuhet se Monego ngriti qasjen në financim nga rreth 30% e 60% të popullatës të cilët nuk kanë ku t'ja mbajnë në rastet e nevojës për mjete financiare. Monego ishte e para dhe e vetmja që solli kreditim online për klientët. Monego solli inovacion teknologjik modern duke përdorur të dhënat dhe sistem të automatizuar për të vlerësuar klientët brenda sekondave. Më mira për Kosovën është nëse këto beneficione që solli Monego gërshetohen me tarifa më të ulta, të rregulluara nga BÇK-ja, dhe jo largimi i paparalajmëruar dhe i dëmshëm për Kosovën. Në këto pyetje që po e përfundojmë këtë emision, duhet t'japin përgjigjet edhe Banka Qendrore edhe institucionet e Kosovës. Dhe ta zbardhin të vërtetën e heqjes licencës dhe mos thuhet se këto janë para ruse, dhe mos thuhet se këto janë paratë e dikujt tjetër, dhe mos thuhet se janë bërë shkarje nga licenca. E vërteta është se duhet bërë publike e tëra dhe jo të gjitha të mbesin mjegull e situatave dhe pastaj të interpretohen sipas nevojës. Mirupafshim.